So hello and welcome to Talking About. My name is Jon Griffith. I am your host, and today I am very, very fortunate to have a person who has an ever-expanding array of titles. Singer, actor, writer, and now producer. Charlie David, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me today.
So, you're doing it all.
Well, you know what? I think we can take the singer off the resume now. Haven't done that for a while, and, in the shower maybe, or once in a while hum a tune, but there's too many people who do that really well to consider that on my resume. But I think I've just always, had such a passion for this industry, and in front of the camera is definitely really fun and very rewarding for me, but I've also had a huge curiosity about what goes on behind the camera, and what all the aspects that go into a production, from A to Z, and so I'm just starting to get my education in that.
Okay, and well, that's with a really a very personal project of yours, and that movie is called
Mulligans. Yeah, this I guess it was the beginning of 2006. I wrote the screenplay for Mulligans, and since then was lucky to workshop it in Vancouver at a group called the Cold Reading Series, which is a group where actors get up and they sit in a semicircle on the stage and they read through the script live in front of an audience of about 100 people. And so as a writer, it's really an invaluable tool because you get to hear the written word back. You get to hear what jokes play, what doesn't play, get a lot of feedback from other people in the industry after it's done, and so to then go back and rework on a new draft, you have all these new opinions and feelings, and sometimes that's a lot of murky water to wade through as well. But I went through that process a few times with the Cold Reading Series on the script, and I think it really helped to strengthen it, to find the different voices, because Mulligans it's a family drama. It's an ensemble piece, and so there are really five main characters, and each of their viewpoints on the story, are important. So. That process was definitely interesting, and then we went to camera with it in the summer of 2007, after an arduous year of researching how this is all done and raising the money for it. And
well, you've worked in the industry for a good amount of time, and I'm sure you've paid attention somewhat. I would think so.
I had to, yeah. Yeah, it's it's funny because as an actor, really, we have the most glorified and easiest job. We show up when everything else is done, and yes, we have our rehearsals and have to go into our personal studies of the role and that type of thing. But often it's it's the position in film that gets the attention and the often the criticism or the accolades. But there are the countless people and hours of work that go into bringing a project from the written word to actually, from the time when you see it on your television screen or, at the movie theater. And
did you know what you were getting into? Really? I mean,
no, I had
something of an idea of it.
I really had no idea, and that was probably I had some concept, but I think ignorance was truly bliss in this case in a number of ways, because I think if I had or could have anticipated the number of challenges that actually go into something when you're the producer, I would have been a lot more scared than I was. So I blissfully went forward and found the challenges as they came up, and then had to make a plan with them. And my life coach recently said to me, you know, when we hit these challenges in life, they are like, it's like you hit a brick wall, and what those brick walls force us to do is to really assess the situation and say, is this really something that you want to do? And so I hit many brick walls and had to bring out many different tools, from the sledgehammer to the drill to scale the wall, and all these types of things. But really, you know, even though I had some experience in the industry, when you go to make something, when you shift hats, you know, people knew me maybe as an actor or as a host, but never as a screenwriter or as a producer. And so then to go out and hold out your hand and say, can I please have some money, or can I, you know, to make this, there's a different level of trust, you know, and I didn't have a calling card in that arena to say, yes, I've done this before, I'll make you back your money, don't worry about it.
Right.
And so people had to invest a lot of
faith,
you know, in me and my team, and that was amazing. I mean, you know, it's very much a collaborative effort that came together, and both from a crewing standpoint and from the money standpoint, it was everybody from my sister, my grandmother, my you know, friends and people that and new friends, people that I had just met, who I guess through the telling of the story also kind of, you know, that kindled their passion for it and said, okay, let's give it a shot.
Okay. Well, okay, the story. Can you give us a little bit of an overview as to the basis of the film?
Yeah, Mulligans is a family drama with comedic moments, more comedic moments than I had anticipated, actually. And it focuses on a family where the father has an affair with his college-age son's best friend.
Okay.
And so then...
That's your character?
That's my character,
okay.
Yeah. So then once the affair happens, it's the repercussions of that, when the family finds out, how they move forward, how each of them deal with that new information about who their, you know, who the husband or who their father truly is. So it's about... the story really centers on the mother and the father. The father played by Dan Payne and the mother played by Taya Gill, and their love, the love that they have for each other, and how, what it's like when you know, when somebody addresses who their authentic self is, you know, and then how they move forward with that information. And so it was a challenge to...
Well, I'm just thinking, as a writer, how do you find these voices within yourself that you're turning into these characters?
I have so many voices in my head, Jonathan. No, some of them come very organically and obviously come from a place of imagining people in my own life. Mm-hmm. The mother role is very much a combination of my own mother, my business partner, my grandmother, very strong women, and kind of a melding of all of those. There's a little girl who's 10 years old, played by Gracie Vukovic, and she's very much the comedic relief in the film, and people are really drawn to her. And she was a complete fabrication. I have no idea where that voice came from, but I think instinctively I just knew that
somewhere inside you're a 10-year-old girl?
Yeah. Yeah, right. I think that maybe it was that a child's perspective on the whole story was kind of needed.
Or an innocent look at everything that's going on around.
Yeah, and at the same time, she's very much a sage. You know, she's kind of like this wise voice who her words are kind of beyond, you know, a 10-year-old. And so, it's interesting, and I think Gracie did such a wonderful wonderful job. You know, people walk out of the theater and that's one of the first comments that I get is, who is that little girl? She was so funny. She was so brilliant. Yeah.
That's great. Do we have a clip or a trailer that we can show?
Trailer.
Trailer. Okay.
Yeah.
So why don't we take a quick look at that trailer right now and enjoy right back.
Well, on the fairway, you want to use a club that'll give you a little lift.
Like a 7?
Too much lift. Try a 3. Now, if you can get it in the first shot, all the better, but most guys got to work up to it, okay? Okay, man. Just visualize that ball going in the hole.
Golf was a quiet game.
Hey, nice and easy, okay? You want to watch that grip there. It should be firm and loose all at the same time, because you don't want to have a wussy shot.
Ty, knock it off, all right? Let the guy play. Hey, Tyler's on his way home. He's bringing a friend from college.
Your mom!
Enjoying the work of the course, boys? You finding it challenging?
Mom, we're painting a fence. It's not like we're using our college education. I'm gonna take the girls to the movie. You wanna come?
No, I'm good here.
So Christy's gonna be disappointed.
I already know I'm not going to be into it, so I pretend and then let her down, right?
Okay, Casanova.
Our interests are a little too similar.
Oh, your father does have a tendency to go about things backwards.
No, your mother's right. Polite to show interest, otherwise you can seem cold or frigid.
You wanna mess around?
No? It'd be good for you to spend some time with Chase.
So, no landscapes?
No. Take a picture. People are more interesting to me.
Hey, you wanna grab some dinner later? Pretty mean with a barbecue.
Yeah, barbecue sounds good. Was it weird getting married right out of high school?
It's just what happened. Choices have to be made at the time, and you make them, and then your life becomes your life, you know? What are you laughing at?
Nothing, you look like Tyler when you said that.
No, see, what you mean to say is Tyler looks like me. And the original.
Who's that? I don't know who that is!
You can't blame a person for who they are.
That makes me want to go out and see it. It's playing festivals mainly right now? As we tape?
As we tape it, it's festivals, and I have my distributors now in French-speaking Europe. I have my offer from Germany that I'm negotiating. Australia and New Zealand is done, and in the US it will be released through Warner Brothers for all digital platforms,
Okay.
and then through Wolf Video on DVD in April.
In April of 2009.
Yeah.
Because the internet is forever, so this will be...
Yeah, exactly.
This will live forever.
And then it will be, available basically everywhere. People can, Netflix, Blockbuster, Amazon.com, iTunes, all that stuff. So
That's amazing. I mean, just in getting everything off the ground, and just through the whole production process. Obviously, you have to turn some of your labor over to somebody else because you didn't direct it.
no.
How do you put effectively your baby, into somebody else's hands?
Oh my gosh, like this. Oh, okay, fine. No, it was, that was a much more difficult, situation than I ever had anticipated. And at points I had considered directing, because my heroes in the business are like Warren Beatty, and Kevin Costner, and these guys who really do, so many different elements. Warren Beatty as a writer, as a producer, as a director, as an actor. But for this one, I realized, oh my gosh, there is no way. I am barely seeing the surface. I'm, just treading water as fast as I can to keep up with all these other elements of production. And I think that was probably the smartest choice I ever made, was handing over the directorship to Chip Hale. And I think he did a really a really fantastic job. He had a wonderful vision for the film, and I think it's interesting that he's a straight guy who was very empathetic to the story. And when we met for the first time, I had just done some location scouting and found the college, which opens the film, and it has this big bell tower, and I was imagining a crane shot coming down, and he came and he had some artist renderings already done up of some of the scenes.
Okay.
And he opened it up, and there was this college with a bell tower and this crane shot idea, and I was like, okay, we're on the same page.
Yes.
This is perfect. But that is, I believe film is a medium that works best when it is collaborative. And I would like to move into directing one day, but I don't think I'll ever do it on a project that I'm also acting in.
Okay. Or at least possibly not the first time out.
Definitely not the first time out. No, but I think I've seen other writer or actor directors, and I think some people do a bang up job of it. I don't know today that I would be there, because I think that there's so much energy that has to be going on between the actors, and so to be, for us to be working on a scene together and then cut, okay, I need to shift the lighting over here and go, okay, let's go with the dolly and blah, blah, like, and then, okay, you ready again? Let's get this focus back. Because I think there's often so much dialogue that happens between actors, between takes, when you're discussing, oh, how was that for you? And what if we tried this? Or just,
right.
Even if there is no dialogue, but it's kind of maintaining the focus, maintaining the energy, playing back and forth. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it would be a fascinating experience to work with actors as a director, but
not yet.
Not yet.
I'm sure. I mean, it would probably take a little bit of rewiring yourself, if you know what I mean by that. Just being able to turn certain things on and off at the right time, and I think when you're ready, you'll know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And sometimes you have to take a leap of faith in yourself as well. I wouldn't think you would have to start with you being the main focus of everything, but you could start with the featured part, but that's really getting ahead because you haven't come to that yet. So I'm rambling.
No, it's all right. Well, it's definitely something that I would look forward to. I found, even as the actor and actor, producer, writer, there's many times where, I would shoot a scene and then I would be running back to circus because I had heard that, whatever, catering is late. So then I'm, calling my producing partner, or I'm calling, catering, and so there's a lot of, the producer is such it's like this job that has so much acclaim, but it is the biggest blue collar job that you can imagine, like on a film set, really. I mean, it's the person who makes sure, the buck stops with that person, right. End of the day, whatever it is. And so it's a very exciting job because you also get kind of the bird's eye view of all the different elements on a set and grow a greater understanding of what each person's responsibilities are. And so that was fun.
But you've obviously learned and grown a great deal, which any work or personal experience that you can learn and grow and become a little bit better, a better person, better at what you do, take something away from it is definitely worthwhile. And this is, a 2-year plus labor of love for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And, for better or for worse, I can't wait to do it again. So I'm either, I think it's kind of like giving birth, how women say that, they can't, as they're going through the pain, and they can't imagine ever, wanting to get pregnant again. But then once you look at the baby, it's like, okay, it makes every minute worthwhile.
So, and where can people find out more information about Mulligans?
Through our website, which is mulligansthemovie.com.
Okay.
We also have a MySpace. We also have a Facebook site. Or
Google it up.
Google it up, definitely.
And on the www.talkingabout.info page, which is the homepage of this very show, I'll have a link associated with this show so that people can find you, find it, and find a little more information about other projects that you've been working on, because you're kind of everywhere also. I mean, not just on the big screen, you're all over cable as well, and print and everywhere. And people know your name.
Yeah, it's I've been very very fortunate the past couple of years. I have a couple really dream jobs. One of them being Bump, my travel show,
Which is currently being shown first run on Logo.
Yes, correct.
In the U.S. And that's basically bringing people to different places and showing them different things. And are you taking part in a lot of the goings on?
I'm so lucky with that show. The producers are based out of Toronto, and they always ask me, "Where do you want to go this year?" I mean, what a dream job is that, right? To say, "Charlie, where do you want to visit?" And so I've been so fortunate. This season 3, we did South America. I was down in Brazil and Argentina. I went over to Scandinavia, into Denmark, Sweden, Norway, and Finland. I also did many different cities throughout North America. I have a co-host on the show, Shannon, and she did Mardi Gras. She went down to Australia. She did Spain and Portugal, and where else? I mean, the destinations are just, they're endless. Yeah. And that's what's neat about the show, is that we're highlighting destinations that are accessible and friendly to the gay and lesbian tourist. So it's a little different than your maybe standard travel show, in that, like when I did Paris, for example, I didn't do a tour of the Eiffel Tower, because
It's been done.
that was done. Yeah, of course. And on anything, any other travel show or magazine or that type of thing, obviously you would highlight the Eiffel Tower for Paris. So we go and try and find the more out of the way or kind of secret places that really do cater to LGBT clientele.
So, yeah, I mean that's valuable, and it's just great to give back to the community in that way also. You're working and enjoying it, and you're seeing all these great places, but you're sharing it. And that's one of the reasons why I love doing this show, is I get to share new people and new places and a lot of charities and organizations and a lot of good stuff, and you're doing that, but the travel.
Yeah, that part is pretty neat. And the producers are coming up with some really great kind of interactive media things as well. The show was just released on DVD this past year, but also through the website, which is bumptv.com. You can download onto your mobile. Yeah, these portable players where you get like a 5-minute overview. So let's say you're landing in Lisbon. So, okay, download this, and now you know
where the lesbians are.
Exactly. Or, where a great gay hotel is, or restaurants, or the nightclubs, or, art galleries that might have a homo slant to it.
Right. I mean, I find personally when I travel, I try and stay in family-friendly places just to be supportive. Plus, it's so great everybody wants to be around people like themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now that we have that outlet, not just one, but 2 networks, one basic, one premium network in the States, and more popping up around the world, and the internet and new media, it's such an amazing opportunity for outreach, and there's so much information available. It's kind of hard to sort through it all, and the show helps you sort through some of that.
Yeah, definitely. It is interesting, the number of, like you said, LGBT networks that are coming out. Germany, I know, just launched Tim, and now there's one in the Netherlands, and France has, and Israel has Ego, which shows gay programming, and Canada has Out TV, and like you said, the U.S. has Here and Logo,
Right.
and it's a very exciting time. And I think that I'm also surprised by the amount of people that I meet who are watching that are straight people as well, that are gravitating towards our programming and and enjoying it and finding it interesting and valuable for them.
Is there anything else in the works for you that you wanna give people a little heads up to be on the lookout for?
Well, I'm starting more writing, and so I have a couple novels coming out this year, and I'm excited about that. You know how to read? Yeah. And so one is called Boy Mid-Flight, and it's going to be released through Polari Publishing. And I also have samples of some of the other stuff that's coming up on my website,
Which is?
charliedavid.com.
Ooh, that's not obvious.
And some of those you can either read them in my Writers Cafe, or you can download them as MP3s, where I've recorded them.
Oh.
So you can listen to it on your iPod or on your computer, however you want to do it.
So you can take them with you.
Yeah, I travel.
If we were to sit down again, say 2 years from now, what would you want to be able to tell me?
Well, my biggest goal right now, I'm working on putting together a dramatic series, on producing a series, and that's my that's kind of the golden chalice that I'm after right now. And because I think that will be a different educational arc from a feature, and so I'm looking forward to that. So hopefully we'll be able to to talk about that. I hope that I'm overall as happy as I am right now, because I feel like I am a tremendously lucky and blessed individual. I don't know how the opportunities that come my way do, so to continue to attract that and positive people in my life, because it's a darn good life, and I'm enjoying it.
I'm jealous. Not that I want to take away what you've got, I just want to find it for myself.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but thank you so much for taking the time to sit with me.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it, and thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm Jon Griffith with Charlie David. I will see you again next time.